Alright, so this picture has nothing to do with this. This video is literally just so I can say I told you so if I am correct on any of my theories. And I do this because, well, Halo Infinite is coming out this year. And I have several theories that could go towards it. And fortunately, I've had theories in the past that I was going to make videos on, and actually some of them I did make videos on. And then the day I was going to upload it, the theory was confirmed. I am very good at making theories with just basic evidence that I pick up along the way. So here's the thing. I'm making this video just for the I told you so factor if I am correct. It's just an extra precaution just so I can say it in the long run. This is going to be proof that I called it. If it does happen, obviously. But I have to do this because, like in Ruby, I made a theory that Ozpin was the wizard, as in Wizard of Oz, and of course that was confirmed, and it was literally the weekend before I could even upload my video. I was going to upload it in a week after I made the video, and, that week it was confirmed. I'm like, damn it. So I'm doing and I've had 3 other Ruby theories confirmed, by the way, and I'm so sad that I never made a video on any of them, and I'm also pissed off at myself for not doing that. So I'm doing this, okay? This is just so I can prove it when it does come out. One of my theories is, if you guys don't know Halo lore, or the events of Halo, which doesn't really matter, this is just so I can say I called it, in Halo 3, Cortana left, or Halo 3 or Halo 2? I think it's Halo 2. Cortana currently has, oh shit, what's the little thing called? It's the thing that allows them to fire the Halo arrays. I don't remember what it's called. Is it the Index? I can't remember. It's a little tiny device, basically, and she has possession of that. The Flood used the Logic Plague on her, and it's been confirmed, by the way, by the books. So, my question is, why are they on Zeta Halo if Cortana... Like, I know Cortana probably wants to destroy the Halos, because since she has the Logic Plague, she is now working with the Flood, a.k.a. basically the descendants of the precursors, basically. I don't know what else to call them. They're basically the descendants, even though they're not really. Whatever. The precursors are this ancient race that was, tasked with testing humanity for the mantle of responsibility. Is that what it was called? I don't remember. God, it's been so long. Basically, the Flood is a newer version of them, basically, because they were all killed off, and that's what happened to them. But anyways, and here's the thing: if the Flood are trying to test humanity, as the originals did, wouldn't it be best if all of humanity was tested at once? If you forced them to make one massive attack, it would be the perfect way to test them, to make sure that they are worthy of the mantle. Now here's the thing. The Halo arrays can actually fire to target one species. And I don't know why they've never used this before. The Halo rings, every time they've been fired, they've been used to kill off all life with a working nervous system, basically, in order to stop the Flood from feeding, even though they don't really feed, and I don't know how that works. Like, I don't get... They say it's basically to cut off its food source by killing all the life that it can attack, that it can, infect. But they don't really need to eat. So, they've never really explained how the Flood dies off over time, because, they don't need to eat. They don't need to infect, but I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. But if Cortana, who is now infected with the Logic Plague, and has... Is it the Index? I'm sorry, once again, I don't know the name of it. It's been so long, has the tool that can fire the arrays, if she threatens humanity and announces that she'll fire it if they don't stop her, this would be the perfect test for humanity, forcing them to attack all at once or be eliminated by the ray. Don't even need to destroy all of life, just threaten to destroy all of humanity, or all of the Covenant that are basically teamed up with humanity. You could do this. Force them to make an attack, therefore testing all of them at once. And this is interesting to me that Zeta Halo is very important with Halo Infinite, obviously. But why is Cortana... She still has possession of the tool, the index, whatever you want to call it. And they've never fired it towards one species, yet they've confirmed that it can be done. It's two details that have never really been brought up since they were mentioned. So my question is, could they both be what Halo Infinite is centered on? Could Cortana threaten humanity to kill it off with the Halo array and let the Flood infect everything? Because honestly, it's been confirmed that, the humans are the only ones who are really worthy of the mantle of responsibility. The only race left. The Forerunners are gone, and was it what are they called? The species that was like the head of the Covenant. I don't remember what they're called. The Prophets, whatever you want to call them. I don't know what their actual species name is, but them. I think it was those three races were the only three that were worthy. They were the only three life forms that were actually worthy of the mantle of responsibility. Forerunners are gone, and the Prophets are mostly gone for the most part. They're not really, there anymore. So humanity is all that's left. So they're going to test humanity and humanity alone. If you threaten to kill off the only species that is has the ability to be worthy of it, you force them to attack. All at once, one massive strike on the rings. And I love this theory. I would love to see an all-out war. Just every UNSC unit, every single one of the Covenant that are currently fighting with the humans. That would be awesome to see everyone fighting Cortana and the Flood. That would be epic. No joke, that'd be the most epic war ever. Not to mention with the Guardians that can literally EMP ships in an entire area. That would be awesome, because they can EMP an entire planet. So think of what they would do in this giant fight. And I swear this would be epic to see. And I hope this is what's going to happen. It would make total sense. As a strategy standpoint, if your goal is to test the enemy and test them all at once, test an entire race, force them to attack all in one massive fight, one massive battle, I personally would love that. And honestly, it makes sense from a theory standpoint. My other theory, which is the one I'm not so happy about, is the one where Cortana isn't fully infected with the Logic Plague. It's hard to explain this one. It's more of just Master Chief rescued her just barely in time to to protect her from the entire process being done. But at the same time, it's cliche, and I don't like it. I really don't. It doesn't have any sort of strategic standpoint here with the Flood and the Forerunners. That makes sense. But it is possible that Cortana was not fully infected. And Halsey, with the new chip that she gave Chief, figured this out that you could put her in the chip and it would, basically reboot her, or I don't know what to call it. It would undo the damage that was done since it wasn't permanent, it wasn't fully finished. And that Cortana would, figure out a way to eliminate the Flood with... But the problem is, you'd have to fire the array. Actually, that would make sense from a Halo 4 standpoint. Or Halo 5 standpoint, I mean, because she wants to keep Chief safe, but doesn't really care about humanity as a whole, and doesn't seem to be doing completely what the Flood wants her to do. And by that I mean, she's not exactly... I don't know, it's hard to tell with the Flood, because they're very strategic, they're very, just planned out for decades to, centuries in advance, and they're very good at waiting. The Flood is very well known for just being patient. But I do see a possibility where Cortana is not fully infected, and basically the Logic Plague isn't fully installed in her, and basically she turns on the Flood after being rescued once again by Chief. She's been rescued 3 times now? This would be the 3rd, but seriously, it gets cliche and old after a while. And I know a lot of people are kind of getting upset about Cortana keep having to be saved. I've seen a lot of people talk about this. It's just like, again. And here's the thing: is 343 really does listen to the community. They've done a lot and changed a lot because of what the community says. Loot boxes are not what I'm speaking of right now because everyone hates the loot boxes. Yet people buy them. Stop buying the fucking loot boxes, you idiots. You're fueling the machine. Anyways, it would make sense that Cortana wouldn't be fully infected. It would end up turning on the Flood. It'd just be so cliche, and it doesn't feel right. It just feels bad. It just feels. But I really love the first theory. And let me finish the second theory though. Basically, she could fire the array and kill off all of life in order to stop the Flood, but keep Chief safe in one of the spheres. But I mean, that's where it gets to weird. Like, I mean, like that could have been her plan because she's not fully infected, but at the same time, it doesn't. I don't like it. I don't like that theory. I just don't. It is a possibility, though. I'm not gonna shoot it down because it's not. I don't like it, but it is a possibility. Therefore, I will mention it. However, the first theory would be the one I would love. I would fucking love it because the precursors have always been basically working towards testing humanity since they're the last species really that's worthy. So this would be the perfect way to do it. One final battle, forcing everyone to fight. Oh my god, I've always wanted to see, like, ever since Halo, was it Halo 2 or Halo 3? Halo 2. I've always wanted, because after, like, the faction kind of, like, fire, like, the three different sides, which was the humans, the Covenants, or the humans, the Brutes, and the Elites, I've always wanted to see, like, an actual, like, it's like a massive war between the Flood, the Brutes, the Elites, the humans, and now the Forerunners. Like, anytime that you are thrown into a battle where there's two other groups fighting, it makes it so much fun. Like, all those levels are always my favorite. Where, like, the Covenant were shooting down the Forerunners and the Prometheans, whatever you want to call them, and the Flood versus the Covenant. Like, those were always such cool missions for me. I always loved them. Anytime that you can literally just stand on the sidelines and watch the two sides just fight it out, it was so much fun just to, like, see what would happen when I ran into battle and take them all out. It made me feel badass, even on Legendary when I die a bunch. But this would make total sense if they made it a massive battle between the Brutes, the Covenant, or not the Covenant, the Brutes, the Human and Covenant, the Prometheans and the Flood. Four different sides fighting it out. Which, by the Brutes, I mean the oh god, what are they called? God, I can't think of their name. What's it called when you cast someone out? It's that word. That's their name. I can't think of what it's called. It's on the tip of my tongue. I don't remember. The Banished. There we go. That would be such a cool fight. 4 factions instead of the usual 3. Which, ever since Halo 2, you've had 3 factions. Even in Halo 1, you've had 3 factions. Of course, the Flood always took over the Covenant because they didn't stand a chance. And then it would be 1 faction versus 1 faction because it was just the Flood versus you. But it was just like, it was so cool to see those kinds of battles. So this would be the most epic way to have a battle it just happen. And we all know the Banished aren't going to be very kind to either side. They've killed the Floods, they've killed the Flood, they've killed the humans. And if Cortana's mixed into this, where she's trying to, kill everything except for Chief, this would be cool. I'm sorry. I would love this. But I don't like the theory. It's a cliche. Yes, the battle would be epic, but it's still a cliche. I still like the first theory much, much better. I mean, even then that could happen. But I mean, I'd rather it just be, that first theory. Also, I need to point out, if Cortana dies in this one, I'm actually going to be happy. I hate to say this. Cortana has always been one of my favorite, video game waifus, as I call them, other than Bayonetta. Bayonetta is Bay. Love ya. Favorite game, okay? I love Bayonetta. But like Cortana has always been one of my favorite video game characters ever since Halo 1. And I don't know why. She just has been. But she needs to die. It's just I she needs to die. She just does. There's no happy ending unless they're gonna make it extremely cliche where it's like, oh yeah, she can survive because, she can be rebooted or restarted. I'm just like, no. No, AIs die after 7 years. Shut the fuck up. If they could do that, every AI would still be around. Like, they wouldn't have to decommission them. But okay. Anyways, my point is, Cortana needs to fucking die already. She just does. Unless they're gonna throw a cliche in there, which I don't like. When it comes to cliches, I only like those in comedy type things. I don't like cliches in action or, sci-fi. Cliches fucking suck unless they're in like a comedy or a romance or something like that. That's the only time I actually care about them. I hate them in video games that are for like action and, bang bang pew pew. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense for me. Anyways, yeah, Cortana needs to die, and I hope my first theory is correct. Dear God, it would make perfect sense though, because they've never explained what happened with the index that Cortana still has possession of, and they never ever use the ability to kill off one species. Yet they've mentioned that it can do that. Why would they mention it if they're never gonna show it? I'm just saying, they've never showed it in the books. They've never showed it in any of the series that have been like on the side, like animated series. They've never showed it in the games. When will they show it? Anyways, I'm gonna end this video here. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope that my theory is correct, and if it is, I told you so. Bye everyone.